Hi there, this is Jed McCabe of www.bodybuildingthatworks.com, and I'm here to talk to you very quickly about probably the most popular and famous weight training exercise that's ever been invented, which is the bench press. So welcome to this short video, which is called How to Improve Your Bench Press Technique to Build Upper Body Muscle Safely. Now, as I say, the bench press is almost certainly the most popular muscle building exercise ever invented. It's done all over the world in gyms everywhere, and it's one of the best upper body muscle building movements that there is. But unfortunately most people do it wrong, and what this leads to is shoulder injuries. And if you think about it, almost every exercise that you do, and certainly every upper body exercise that you do, you have to use your shoulders somewhere. And so what this means is that if you're doing the exercise with bad form and causing yourself shoulder injuries, eventually you won't be able to do any upper body exercises at all because of your poor bench press technique, which has given you bad shoulders. So the idea of this little video is to give you a few pointers about how you can clean up your bench pressing technique so that you can build more upper body muscle more quickly and more safely, because you're not always recovering from an injury. So let's have a look at some of the common faults that we see in gyms all over the place. The first one, and the most obvious one, is most people bench press far too high up on the body. And what I mean by that is that when the bar's at the bottom position, it's usually around about the middle of the chest, or even sometimes as high up as the neck. Now this is really bad for the shoulders. The bar should be much lower than that. It should really be about nipple level, or even an inch or two below that. This will depend on how long your arms are, how tall you are, and your body structure, but you should have the bar at nipple level or even a bit below it. The second fault you often see is bouncing the bar off the sternum. It's just dangerous and unnecessary. There's no need to do this. The third one is extreme grips. When people talk about the wide grip bench press, which is meant to build the chest muscle at the top, you see people taking these ridiculously wide grips, which is very bad for the elbows and the shoulders again. Or when they talk of the close grip bench press, you see this ludicrous grip where the hands are almost touching, which is absolutely insane. This isn't really anybody's fault except the people that come out with these stupid terms. I mean, the wide grip bench press implies a wide grip, but people are gripping it too wide, and the narrow grip, again, they're gripping it too narrow. So avoid extreme grips. The fourth one is allowing the elbows to flare out to the sides. This is bad for the shoulders again, and also for the elbows. And as I say, lousy bench press form leads to shoulder injuries, and in fact people have actually been killed under a bench press bar. Just the other week on YouTube I saw this bloke, I think he had about 300 pounds or something on the bar, and he dropped the bar on his neck. I mean, it was a horrible injury, and but because he wasn't doing some certain things right with his technique, that's what caused that injury. So I'm going to explain this in a bit more detail now. The thing is that most old-fashioned bench press units are badly designed simply because they have catches at the top, and what that means is that at the end of the set you have to get the bar back up to those catches. Now this is very dangerous if you're tired, and when you think about this, you've just cranked out 6 reps or however many it is you're doing in your set, and you've just barely completed them, and at the end of that exercise you've then got to find a way of getting the bar back up to the catches in order to finish the set. This is very dangerous if you're tired, and I mean, I don't know which idiot designed these old-fashioned bench press units, but obviously he hadn't a clue what he was doing. The other thing is, of course, is that if you want to get bigger, you need to lift bigger weights. Now, if half of you is concerned about how you're going to re-rack the bar at the end of the set, this is going to limit the amount of weight you even dare attempt. Now, all these things are very easily solved, and the solution is to train the bench press from the bottom. And it's actually very simple, and it's a lot safer than bench pressing from the top. The way you would do this is inside a 4-post power rack, which most commercial gyms will have. Failing that, you can do it with a set of reasonable squat stands, and what you're doing is, if you've got the power rack, you set the pins at chest level, and what this means is that when you get under the bar, it's just grazing your chest. So the bar should be at chest level and about the level of your nipples, as I mentioned earlier. This is much safer for the shoulders, and then all you do is you get under the bar and you press it up from there, and at the end of the set you just leave the bar on the pins, so there's no worry about having to wrestle the bar up to the catches at the top. You should also remember your elbows should not flare out to the sides. They must stay close to the sides all the way through the exercise. When you start doing this technique, it'll feel a bit strange, particularly with the bar positioning a bit lower down. What you need to do is reduce the weight right down to start with, and then gradually build up, keeping your form tight and keeping the same positioning, and you'll find that it's a much stronger and more stable platform for pressing for the future, and a lot less little injuries. You need to lower the bar under control. Remember that negatives actually build muscle, so it's not a matter of pushing the bar up and then just dropping it. You lower it under control. Breathing, as regards breathing, you breathe in as you lower the bar and forcefully out as you push up. That gives you more power. So keep your form tight, add small amounts of weight to the bar whenever you can, and in all honesty, unless you're a competitive powerlifter where you have to actually bench press from the top, I believe, there is no need to ever bench press from the top again. If you press from the bottom, it's much safer. And the other upside is you can press larger weights, because there's no problem if you fail on a rep. If the bar's too heavy, it just won't move, but you're at least you're not getting injured. Now, if you'd like more information on this topic, I don't really have enough space to go into this in more detail here. Over at www.bodybuildingthatworks.com there's a free 2-hour video presentation called The 15 Things You Must Know About Designing Your Own Bodybuilding Routines. It's also available as a 2-hour MP3 recording and a written report. They're both free. So if you visit www.bodybuildingthatworks.com and download it now, you can find more information out about this and plan all your weight training routines for the rest of your bodybuilding career. Anyway, I wish you good luck. Thanks for listening. This is Jed McCabe. Cheers.